So this is session 2 now, where our agenda is on case taking. Now we have this session on organon, organon of medicine, OM. Earlier I used to call it OHP, that is the organon and homeopathic philosophy. I have removed the word homeopathic philosophy out of it because on the name of homeopathic philosophy we have deviated from organon. Because what everybody has told about the explanations of organon has become homeopathic philosophy, and we are forgetting organon. We have to remember organon. So it is OM. O for organon and M for medicine. Anyway, organon of medicine. Now under now this is case taking has got three components which we shall focus today. One is interrogation, second is physical examination, and of course laboratory investigation is a topic in itself which you have to follow at your own level. It is beyond the scope of this type of classes. Then use of case taking forms, CTF. Now let us go to interrogation first, because basically in interrogation it is the patient who comes and sits and you keep asking. Patient tells, you keep on asking. So this is interrogation basically. What is to be interrogated? First is chief complaints. Under chief complaints, remember one thing. It is not everything under the earth which the patient has which you are supposed to record. It is basically an adjective is to be added to complaints. Be it chief, be it presenting. Many times we write presenting complaints. That means what? The patient tells himself, presents himself. A shopkeeper has got certain items which he displays. That is the presentation of the shop. You have a house in which you display in the drawing room. You call it drawing room. That is your basically presenting room. And that similarly the patient also presents some things. So those are the things which are very important. Remember one thing, if you come across a neurotic patient, anxiety patient, he is full of symptoms. You cannot completely record it. You have to restrict them. Alright, tell me about 5 of your most important complaints. Because when he comes next time, what are you going to ask? Why this case taking is done? For selection of medicine, no doubt. Secondly, to compare whether the patient is better or not. What happens in such patients? My father, who is no more, last year he died. He was 93 and he practiced up to the age of 92. In Tumsar, he was homeopathic practitioner, general homeopathic practice. So one day he overheard a lady who was telling, अरे बेवकूफ है क्या तू, डॉक्टर को काय को बोली आराम है? डॉक्टर को कभी नहीं बोलने का आराम है. Now she was in her own thoughts try to understand what she must have noted a villager that you tell to a homeopathic doctor कि डॉक्टर साहब पहले से अच्छा है. He will write something in 1 minute. You are finished. डॉक्टर साहब आराम नहीं है. आराम नहीं. So आराम नहीं means he will look at the notes, he will ask certain questions, and instead of 2 minutes he will spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes on you. So which patient is seen better in the eyes of the patient? One on whom the doctor spent 10 minutes, and which patient is seen carelessly on whom only 1 minute is spent. Now this is the thought. So patients always, there are two types of clinics. Either you are running a charitable clinic where you don't charge a single penny, or you are running a charged clinic. In charged clinic, if a patient is better in something, he is not going to tell you on what things he is better. Because doctor has given medicine, he must be better. The medicine must give some results so that he must be better. So he will not tell. But whatever things he is not better, he will tell. Now here your case taking record helps you. because you are treating a patient with respect to certain main complaint, and you are seeing whether your medicine is acting or not. Your medicine is acting, so it has given relief in this symptom. It has given relief. The patient could not sleep before this. For last 3 days he is sleeping very well. Now this is an improvement in generalities. His appetite, doctor, ना appetite का तो रहने दो, दवाई अभी तो मेरे को भूख को अच्छी लगती है. You note down last time he said मेरे को खाना खा के नहीं होता. So this presenting complaints list should be made from that angle also, that is going to be your comparator. If you forget doing that work, then next time you are not going to remember, because brain and the memory, they are very notorious. Memory is very notorious, very unreliable. If there is a pressing work, sometime all your neurotransmitters will be engaged in something and you will be forgetting. So this record form is very important from that angle also, presenting complaints. Then history of present complaints. That is like this, that each complaint has an evolution. कब से चालू हो तो डॉक्टर साहब याद नहीं, आप दवाई भर दे दो, मेरे को कब से तकलीफ है ये तो मेरे को याद नहीं. You cannot entertain such patients, because the history of presenting complaints is very important, and that must be obtained at the first interview in chronic cases. Past history is important. We all know obstetric and gynec history is important. Personal and social history is important. Then family history is important, and generalities are important. This is what each of us knows. All of you are practitioners for so many years. We are to discuss the points on which we normally get stuck up. So here, one thing I will tell you, it's a routine to note down certain landmarks. Like, when you are treating a young adolescent patient, he does not have a long span of life of past. Whereas when you treat a past middle-aged person, he has got a long span of past. He doesn't come to you with a bag of past history. कि आपने पूछा ये कब से हुआ, थैले में से निकाला बता दिया ये अब से हुआ, ये कब से हुआ, ये तकलीफ अब से हुई. Cannot. So what normally we do, we note down with the patient, all right, बताइए आपने 10th कौन से साल में किए, एजुकेशन क्या हुआ, ग्रेजुएशन कौन से साल में किया, जॉब कब लगा, मैरिज कब हुई, बच्चा कब हुआ, साल लिख लिए. कितने मिनट लगेंगे? It will take hardly 5 minutes, in which you will record the years, and then you go to complaints. Then when you go to complaints, then you can say कब से चालू हुआ, ये 8-10 साल. अच्छा, वो जब जॉब लगा था तब से क्या? Because you got years. अच्छा, वो जब फर्स्ट चाइल्ड बर्थ हुआ था तब से क्या? हाँ डॉक्टर साहब, वो ऐसा हुआ था. That is, you have to take the patient down the memory lane. Memory lane is old. It is hidden. You have to, and it is backwards. Patient is going upwards. He is thinking of future. He is living in present. He is not very conscious of the past. And no allopathy hands inquire like this. So they are not accustomed also. So take the patient down the memory lane. Spend some time, 10-15 minutes after that, and you will be rewarded, because causation will be obtained. The cause. What is the cause? First and foremost important thing about cause is it must have occurred before the event. It cannot be after the event. If it is after the event, it is not the cause. So temporal contiguity, that is a series of events that is to be seen. For that, I always advise to write the landmarks. Then after this interrogation, there are certain golden rules about interrogation. One is no leading questions. Now, if leading questions are not to be asked, Henneman has finally said कि in the start of the interview, but when you come to selection of medicine, when you have done reasonable history taking, then at that afterwards you are required to ask leading questions. प्यास ज्यादा लगती है कि कम, ये बाद में पूछा जा सकता है once the patient has developed confidence in you. अच्छा, ऐसा तो नहीं होता कि हाथ में आपके बहुत ज्यादा पसीना आ जाता है, इसका रिस्पॉन्स जब पेशेंट आपको देता है, हाँ हो जाता है, हाँ डॉक्टर हाथ में तो इतना पसीना आता है, that means as if you hit the nail on its head. That is a job of an expert. It cannot be done without leading questions. No expert completes the interview without leading questions, but no expert begins with leading questions. So remember, leading questions, no leading questions means not at the beginning of the interview. Similarly, no interruption also is required at the beginning of the interview. Of course, if a lachesis patient comes and keeps on talking, then remember one thing, look at your clock, watch, wait for 5 minutes. 5 मिनट तक के उसका सुनिए. Keep patience. Many times we don't have that much patience and we do not listen. हाँ वो ठीक है क्या है बोलना बोलो. That disturbs. उतना टाइम देने के बाद you have to decide your own time, and that is no interruption during that time. That और वो अगर आपको सुनना है, प्रैक्टिस अगर करना है, तो जो आजकल राज्यसभा और लोकसभा की डिबेट्स आती हैं उसको थोड़ा सुन लिया करिए, तो थोड़ा आपका उसमें स्पीकर कैसी बैठे रहती है, बैठा रहता है चुपचाप. That is what you have to learn, but you have to be alert. What the person speaks, you have to hear. Then leave space in between, preserve expression. In the language of the patient जो word लिखा है, that does not mean if the patient is speaking in Bengali, then you must write down in Bengali. If he is speaking in Marathi, then write down in Marathi. English में बोला उसको English में लिखो, जितनी बात हिंदी में बोला उसको हिंदी में बोलो लिखो. No, he doesn't mean language. He means expression. What is that expression that is to be preserved? And then no morbid curiosity. All of us in the beginning had tremendous morbid curiosity. कि डॉक्टर साहब वो ऐसा हुआ कि वो मेरे ये सब प्रॉब्लम ऐसे चालू हो गए, तो फलानी बात, वो एक लड़की मिली थी. अच्छा, कितनी बार मिली थी? ना कितनी बार मिली थी is your curiosity, because you want to know, and that curiosity is morbid because it is sick. It is not going to serve any purpose. Many times we get involved कि उसने मेरे को कह दिया, मेरे को गाली दे दिया. कौन सी गाली दिया, कौन सी भाषा में गाली दिया, कितनी देर तक गाली दिया, कितने बार गाली दिया. Now this all is morbid. I am giving a very crude example. The examples can be finer. We know that each of us has got certain curiosity. I remember a case of mine. I always tell in the beginning of my interview, practice interview, case taking. Once a very rich patient had come to me, and I took down his entire case history for about 1.5 hours. जाते समय उसने हाथ मिलाया, डॉक्टर साहब मजा आ गया बोले. He never came again to me. He never came again to me. And sometimes हम स्टूडेंट लाइफ में पेशेंट्स कहते थे, अरे होम्योपैथ के पास नहीं जाना हो, बहुत सड़ाते. डिस्चार्जेस के बारे में पूछेंगे, फिर कैसी स्मेल है, फिर क्या है, न ये है न वो है. हमको बहुत मालूम होना होता है, जरूरी होता है, इंपॉर्टेंट होता है. सो दैट इज ऑल आइदर क्यूरियोसिटी आउट ऑफ योर इग्नोरेंस or morbid curiosity for any reason. So unnecessary, useless curiosity is injurious. Then age of onset, since birth है तो cleft palate, hair lip, Hutchinson teeth and congenital heart diseases समझ में आती है. Infancy childhood का है, so nephritis, measles, diphtheria, whooping cough, acute rheumatic fever. Then young adult है तो peptic ulcer or acquired valvular heart diseases. मिडिल एज है तो गॉल स्टोन्स, पोर्टल सिरोसिस ऑफ लीवर. ऑफ कोर्स दीज आर गाइडलाइंस, ये सब होगा ही ऐसा नहीं है, बट देन दिस इज द कॉमन ऑकरेंसेस. वी मस्ट बी अलर्ट. उसको हाइपरटेंशन या डायबिटीज मेलिटस हो सकता है. ओल्डर एज है तो इस्कीमिक डिजीज, एथेरोस्क्लेरोसिस, कार्डियक एज्मा, menopausal syndrome, osteoarthritis, enlarged prostate, and malignancy. So you have to be receptive for this. Then occupation wise, press वाले हैं तो lead poisoning, contact with dogs है तो hydrated diseases, coal miners है तो pneumoconiasis, farmers है तो hookworms, then states हैं like India में उड़ीसा, साउथ इंडिया में उड़ीसा, साउथ इंडिया, बंगाल, इसमें फाइलेरियासिस, पेप्टिक अल्सर और गॉल ब्लैडर डिजीज अलग रिस्पेक्टिव जगह में कॉमन है. इंटरनेशनली अफ्रीका में स्लीपिंग सिकनेस, देन ऑस्ट्रेलिया में हाइड्रेटेड सिस्ट, इजिप्ट में bilharziasis, ये सारी डिजीज दे आर commonly found. You have to be receptive for that. Then after this we go to physical examination. Now physical examination is something on which homeopaths are very lazy, and this includes me also, as I am no exception. What happens that homeopaths are seldom standing up and taking the patient up to the bed because they think they get engrossed in collecting the symptoms only. If they do the physical examination also, then there is going to be a lot of difference in the results. I always remember when I teach this about a case of my teacher to whom a patient went. डॉक्टर साहब, नींद नहीं आती है, 6 महीने 8 महीने से ये 6-7 डॉक्टर को दिखा चुका हूँ, ये वाली स्लीप की गोली लिया, वो वाली स्लीप की गोली लिया, नींद नहीं आती. साइकेट्रिस्ट की भी गोली लिया. सर ने कहा कि भाई चलो आओ इधर बैठो, लो लेटो. नहीं, मैं तो लेट ही नहीं सकता, लेट नहीं सकता, थोड़ा नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं लेट सकता. When the heart was seen, it was a case of congestive cardiac failure. He had been to doctors, including allopaths. Who were they? We do not know whether they were general practitioners or what they were, but nobody must have asked him to lie down. Because if anybody had asked him to lie down, then it would have been detected. Sir immediately wrote a prescription, suggestion, reference to a cardiologist. Cardiologist said you have detected in time and gave treatment, and he was an advanced case of heart disease. He could not do anything. Sir could not do anything to that patient, but afterwards the whole family depended on him because he could diagnose. Now diagnosis clinches your impression upon the patient, and that is very essential. It is a different thing whether you are able to do something or some brother of yours from some other pathy is able to do something, if it is through your knowledge. So diagnosis, physical examination is very essential, and physical examination is not very difficult. It is a question of method and habit. So this method and habit is seen under these three. I have made 3 groups of 3 things. One is general inspection, which from any book on clinical medicine, you already ordered book of Dr. S.P. Day. You are going to read that. So general examination, general inspection of the patient on look how is whether there is swelling somewhere or whatever it is. Then respiratory system and cardiovascular system. The respiratory system we shall see. In respiratory system, we have to note down the cardinal features of respiratory system involvement, which is cough, expectoration of sputum, blood hemoptysis, and fever. If they are present, then dyspnea, that is breathlessness, wheeze. Wheeze is the sound, rhonchi. Wheeze on stethoscope also, and wheeze to naked ear also. Chest pain, hoarseness of voice, and loss of weight. These 9 are the cardinal features. If all of them are absent, you can rule out that the patient does not have any respiratory complaint. But only on the basis of one inquiry, you will be wrong. Then cardiovascular system. In cardiovascular system, We see dyspnea again, breathlessness, chest pain, then palpitations, syncope or pre-syncope, that is chakkar, fatigue, then edema, particularly on dependent parts, right abdomen pain. Now remember, right abdomen pain is associated with heart disease because it is a sign of back pressure. It is a sign of congestive failure, right congestive failure, back pressure. Then oliguria or nocturia. Oliguria means less urine. Nocturia means going to urinate at night. Cyanosis is blueness of the underside of the tongue, blueness of the nails. Then squatting. Squatting means चौकड़ी मार के बैठने से बच्चे को आराम मिलता है. In small children, congenital heart diseases, they have this symptom of squatting. Squatting gives relief. ये चौकड़ी मार के योगी के आसन में बैठा रहता है. योगी के आसन में बैठा रहता है means he doesn't understand that ये कोई योगी एक्सरसाइज नहीं कर रहा है. What he is doing is his helplessness. Then after that we go to see these three, then digestive, hemopoietic and genitourinary. These are the next three, and last three are nervous, special senses and psychological state. Now this routine examination has got to be done like this for the examination to be complete. Then let us see the digestive system. It has been divided into gastrointestinal one, which is abdominal pain, then belching or hiccup, हिचकी आना, eructations, डकार उठना, then nausea, vomiting and regurgitation. Then dyspepsia. Dyspepsia is indigestion, diarrhea and constipation. These are the 6 features which are essential components of GI symptoms. Then hepatobiliary and pancreatic. These are the appendages because they are not directly associated with the GI tract, but they are associated with it, pancreas and liver. Now here symptom is pain in abdomen. The patient comes with pain in abdomen. He doesn't tell मेरे liver में और pancreas में problem because he doesn't know it. Now sign here is jaundice. Jaundice, if it is present, it must be seen and diagnosed in 2 grand divisions. One is medical and second is surgical. And medical means intrahepatic diseases, disease inside the liver, and that is related to cholestasis. Chole means bile and stasis means stagnant. The formation of bile is not taking place. The factory of liver is closed partially or fully. Second is obstructive, which is surgical, where in the liver the bile is produced, but afterwards in the pathway, that is hepatobiliary, in the tract, it is obstructed. So here cholestatic jaundice is acute viral hepatitis, then fatty liver, then alcohol abuse and drugs. This is the old list of chlorpromazine, phenothiazines and azathioprine. New drugs are coming which are hepatotoxic, so that could lead it. Then second is the continued is septicemia, infiltrative diseases. That is infiltrative means infiltration, आतंकवादी रह रहा कहीं और यहाँ पे बॉर्डर से पार करके आ रहा है. So it is somewhere else. Tuberculosis is there, lymphoma is there, metastatic malignancy is there, which is coming to liver. Then primary biliary cirrhosis, PBC, primary sclerosing cholangitis and benign recurrent cholestasis. These are 9 points which we should. Cholangitis means inflammation of the biliary passages, biliary pathways. So that is biliary bile duct. Bile duct or small passage of the bile, hepatobiliary pathway. Uska angitis. Angitis means vessel. Or col means biliary. So then obstructive jaundice, extrahepatic causes. Here biliary calculi is the commonest cause, stone. Then malignancy, then pancreatitis, then bile duct stricture and roundworms in biliary tree, very rare, but still it is an important cause. Then next is the hemopoietic related to blood, hematological. Now in this, low hemoglobin level is very important factor. Then loss of weight, fever, then night sweats, bone pains and itching, pruritus, as well as history of, what is the history of? History of, we shall see, a sore tongue, जीभ दुख रही है, डिस्फेजिया, निगलने में नहीं आ रहा है, डिस्पेप्सिया, गैसेस की तकलीफ है, और कोई ना कोई स्पॉट से ब्लीडिंग हो रही है. Now this tells us malignant hematological disorders, which could be lymphoma, which could be leukemia, which could be myeloproliferative disorders. Myeloid से जो disorders proliferation के होते हैं, which could be increased in any cells. That is basically वहां से cells, blood cells बनती हैं, which are three. One is white, one is red, and one is platelet. तो उसमें से किसी का भी जब proliferation होता है, so these are lymphomas, leukemias. That is the hematological disorders. Then finally we go to genitourinary system. This is urinary largely. यहाँ ये क्लासिफिकेशन बिल्कुल दिमाग में याद रखने का है कि ओलिगूरिया मीन्स 400 ml से कम यूरिन डेली अगर पास होता है, इट इज ओलिगोयूरिया. और जहाँ 100 ml से कम होता है, दैट इज एन्यूरिया. एन्यूरिया का ये मतलब नहीं है कि बिल्कुल भी एक बूंद भी पेशाब नहीं आता है करके. दैट मीन्स 100 ml less than that. So this is a border. Or normally 1.5 liters to 2 liters could be the quantity of urine every day. So here it is, second condition is polyuria. जब वो 3 लीटर से ज्यादा हो गया तो excess हो गया. तो we have got these three figures, 100, 400 and 3 liters. प्लस नॉक्टूरिया, रात को यूरिन के लिए उठना बार बार. डिसयूरिया, बर्निंग ऑफ यूरिन. फ्रीक्वेंसी, अब आप बोलोगे कि सर इतनी तो बता दिए, फिर फ्रीक्वेंसी अलग से काय को? फ्रीक्वेंसी मीन्स हो सकता है यूरिन की क्वांटिटी कम है लेकिन बार बार जाना पड़ रहा है, 4 बार, 5 बार, 6 बार जाना पड़ रहा है, बट द टोटल क्वांटिटी इज लेस. हिमेचूरिया, ब्लड इन यूरिन, रीनल कॉलिक एंड एन एब्डोमिनल मास. There is a mass in abdomen which could be related to the renal, that is kidney. So this is about the physical examination. Now with this basic thing, I can only tell one thing to you, that if we make it as a habit, it is, any habit is never too late to learn. This is a very rewarding habit, and in the form itself, first of all you can emphasize on examining the system which the patient is affected with. Then afterwards a cursory examination of all systems is going to be useful. Many times homeopaths find how to adjust the new patients on whom so much time is required, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour if it is required from an OPD. To give this much time to a new patient sometimes is very difficult. Many of us have tried to use case taking forms for this. Some of us have got very bad experience. They don't rely on case taking form क्योंकि उनका कहना है पेशेंट ठीक से उसको भरता नहीं. अब सवाल यह है कि आपका केस टेकिंग फॉर्म सरकारी है कि खाजगी है. अगर सरकारी फॉर्म है तो सरकारी फॉर्म को सरकारी तरीके से भरा जाएगा, और खाजगी फॉर्म है जिसमें का एक एक कॉलम आप अपनी जरूरत के मुताबिक रख रहे हैं, तो आप वो पेशेंट ने ठीक से भरा कि नहीं भरा उसकी भी सावधानी ले सकते हो और इम्प्रैक्टिकल चीजें उसमें से हटा सकते हो. जब सारा का सारा साइकोलॉजी के इंटरव्यूज फॉर्म्स के बेसिस पे होते हैं, so there is no reason why we should not get something out of it. So initially I had thought to discuss about the case taking form in this lecture itself, but since that itself is a topic, so I have divided it into 2 parts. I will introduce that to you and give you my own case taking form, which you can practically work for 1 month, and in the next class we'll go to each and every item out of that. So the introduction of the case taking form. Now this is a very routine thing: name, father's name, address, educational qualification, occupation, ये सब तो रूटीन है और ये भरना जरूरी भी होता है। कई बार आपको पेशेंट कि फोन करके उसको कोई चीज बताना रहता है, कोई पेशेंट कंपाउंडर ने बाद में बताया कि वो दवाई इसकी उसको दे दिया था, अरे चुप, किसी को नहीं बताया। नो, यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू रिंग द पेशेंट, कॉल हिम कि आपकी दवा गलत आ गई थी। अरे उसको बोलेंगे गलत आ गई तो क्या सोचेगा, ये तो हर एक की दवाई गलत देता होगा। ट्रूथ तो ट्रूथ है। सो देर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स फॉर विच इट इज रिक्वायर्ड। सो दिस देन ये सारा चिल्ड्रन, मेल फीमेल, ये सब रूटीन है। रेफर्ड बाय होम। फिर इंस्ट्रक्शंस हम इसमें लिखते हैं कि सारी इंफॉर्मेशन भरिए, अपना रिप्लाई अंडरलाइन करो, ब्लैंक स्पेस में लिखो और या एक्स्ट्रा पेपर अटैच करो और टिक मार्क करो। आपके क्वेश्चन है ऐसी होना कि जिसमें टिक मार्क या अंडरलाइन करके आंसर मिल जाने को होना, लिखने पढ़ने का ज्यादा जरूरत पड़ने को नहीं होना। देन फिजिशियंस यूज ये माइलस्टोन ऑब्लिक लैंडमार्क्स, जो मैंने आपको पहले इंट्रोड्यूस किया। ये माइलस्टोन और लैंडमार्क्स हम लिख लेते हैं उतनी जगह छोड़ करके उसमें, जिससे कि we can take the patient down the memory lane. Then after that, presenting complaints may write serially and chronologically, that is give numbers and mention when each complaint occurred, उसकी duration, space in between। इतना लिखने के बाद भरते नहीं है लोग, ये वाली कॉलम को आपको खुद भरना पड़ता है, लेकिन इसको देना होता है। कोई लोग उसके आंसर भर सकते हैं। सेपरेट पैराग्राफ लिखो, डिस्क्राइब रिलीविंग एंड एग्रावेटिंग फैक्टर्स। हमेशा याद रखो, रिलीविंग फैक्टर की कोई इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं है पेशेंट के पास। काय से आराम होता है? अरे डॉक्टर साहब आराम ही होता तो आपके पास काय बात है? या पेन किलर खाने से आराम होता है, ये दोनों सिम्टम कोई काम की नहीं है। तो इसलिए एग्रावेटिंग फैक्टर ये लिखते हैं हम भले रिलीविंग, लेकिन बेसिकली इसको आप हटा भी दें अगर, वो इसलिए लिखते हैं कभी कभी किसी को सेंक देने से इससे उससे सिम्टम मिल जाती है। Then mode of onset of main problem, right? Which problem started first, और extra sheet अगर आपको जोड़ना है तो जोड़िए। So this is the details about case taking, and if you have any questions on this, we can go ahead, and I have told I'll give you the case taking forms.
गॉलब्लैडर का स्टोन पास होता है कि मतलब डिसॉल्व?
डिसॉल्व नहीं होता। डिसॉल्व नॉर्मली नहीं होता है, वो पास होता है, इसलिए उसका जो साइज है उसके मान से ये होता है। कई बार क्या है, स्टोन्स अलग अलग वेराइटी के टाइप्स ऑफ स्टोन्स के मान से उनका स्ट्रक्चर रहता है, और क्योंकि हम लोग क्लिनिशियंस हैं, रिसर्चर्स नहीं है, इसीलिए बार बार इन्वेस्टिगेशन या डिटेल्ड इन्वेस्टिगेशन करा नहीं सकते, तो हमको पूरी इंफॉर्मेशन मिलती नहीं। लेकिन जिन पेशेंट्स को रिजल्ट मिलता है तो रिजल्ट उस आधार पे मिलता है कि आप जैसे देखिए कुछ स्टोन्स हैं, अब वो स्टोन्स 2 हैं कि 3 हैं, इसका आप बेस्ट इमेजिंग से एक आइडिया ही ले रहे हैं ना। परफेक्टली तो आप नहीं बता सकते कि वो 1 स्टोन है कि 3 स्टोन का गुच्छा है, ये तो ट्रीटमेंट से ही पता चलेगा। अगर वो 3 स्टोन का गुच्छा है, वो अलग अलग हो जाते हैं, तो पेशेंट को आराम मिल जाएगा। ये मैं एक सेट देता हूँ, इसको जेरोक्स कर लेना, सब जेरोक्स ही करते हैं। अच्छा,
तो 5 mm की रहती है।